Welcome to this explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today. Okay, if you've ever been knocked absolutely flat by a sudden stomach bug or some major digestive distress, you know the drill. Your energy completely drops, dehydration sets in fast, and honestly, you just want to feel normal again. So today, we're diving into the latest clinical data to build you a fast, medically sound survival guide. We're going to map out exactly how to alleviate that distress, replenish what your body is so rapidly losing, and get you on the absolute fast track to recovery. Okay, let's dive right into this roadmap so you know exactly what to drink and eat right now. We'll be covering Section 1, the hidden hydration trap, Section 2, the core 4 electrolytes, 3, sports drinks versus ORS, 4, the gut recovery diet, 5, hydration action plans, and finally Section 6, when to call a doctor. No more guessing your way through recovery. All right, starting things off with Section 1, the hidden hydration trap. We all know the sheer misery of a stomach bug, right? The cramping, the total exhaustion, those endless trips to the bathroom. But when you're right in the thick of it, can drinking plain water actually make diarrhea worse? It sounds completely counterintuitive. After all, you're losing fluids, so you should just chug water, right? Actually, no. The answer is a resounding yes, it can make things worse. See, when your gut is compromised, drinking plain water dilutes the few remaining electrolytes you have left in your bloodstream. This creates an osmotic imbalance that stops your cells from hydrating properly, and it can even lead to a dangerous condition called hyponatremia, which is dangerously low blood sodium. 10 liters. To put that into perspective, clinical research demonstrates that severe acute diarrhea can cause a massive loss of up to 10 liters of fluid daily. It literally flushes out massive amounts of sodium, potassium, and chloride. When your body is losing that kind of volume, a few glasses of plain tap water is just completely inadequate for recovery. And this brilliantly illustrates the problem. Think of your compromised gut right now like a leaky bucket. It's temporarily lost its normal absorptive power, so it's like pouring water into a bucket full of holes. To patch those holes and actually pull water into your cells, your body requires a highly precise, targeted formula of sodium and glucose concentrations. This specific combo triggers a transport mechanism that essentially forces your intestinal walls to absorb fluids even while you're actively sick. Moving right along to Section 2, the core 4 electrolytes. So the crucial point here is sodium. It is your absolute priority for fixing that leaky bucket. It's the primary electrolyte lost during digestive distress, and you absolutely need it to enable cellular hydration and prevent dangerous drops in your blood pressure. Clinical thresholds show you actually need between 1,000 and 1,500 milligrams of sodium per 8-ounce serving to properly restore blood volume. If your recovery drink doesn't hit those numbers, it's just not working hard enough for you. But sodium does need backup. Enter your secondary heroes. First up, potassium. You need about 200 to 400 milligrams. This is critical for protecting your heart and muscle function and stopping that horrible lingering fatigue. Next is magnesium at 50 to 100 milligrams. This one is incredible because it specifically targets and reduces intestinal cramping by helping your smooth muscles relax. And finally, calcium, 40 to 80 milligrams, to keep your overall metabolic function running. Together, these 4 are basically your elite recovery squad. Let's look at Section 3. Sports drinks versus ORS. When we compare the actual data between home remedies and clinical science, traditional sports drinks like Gatorade sit way down at just 270 milligrams of sodium. Meanwhile, modern electrolyte solutions like Salt of the Earth give you a robust 1,000 milligrams, and the World Health Organization's ORS formula sits at 1,725 milligrams. This proves exactly how traditional sports drinks fall severely short of that 1,000 milligram clinical threshold we just talked about. They were designed for sweat loss during a workout, not for critical digestive fluid loss. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sugar comparison. It is eye-opening. Gatorade packs a massive 34 grams of sugar. The WHO ORS has 13.5 grams, while solutions like Salt of the Earth have 0. High sugar can actually worsen what's known as osmotic diarrhea. That excess sugar basically draws even more water into your intestines, increasing stool frequency and volume, and nobody wants that. It highlights exactly why zero sugar or optimized clinical formulas are significantly safer and much more effective for your recovery. All right, on to Section 4, the gut recovery diet. Okay, we've conquered the liquids, so let's shift gears to solid foods. We need direct, actionable steps to safely heal that gut lining. You've probably heard of the classic brat diet, but modern research gives us the expanded brat diet.
This includes bananas, white rice, applesauce, toast, boiled potatoes without the skin, and plain eggs. These are incredibly easy to digest, binding foods. Bananas and potatoes offer massive potassium boosts, while plain eggs provide a super gentle, low-fat source of protein that won't completely overwhelm your healing stomach. The research gives us a really solid do this, don't do that dietary framework. You want to eat bland, low-fat foods, sip clear broths, and eventually introduce probiotics and L-glutamine to help rebuild that gut environment. But, and this is absolutely crucial, you must avoid spicy, fatty, or high-fiber foods and artificial sweeteners. Oh, and I have to specifically warn you about dairy. Temporary lactose intolerance is incredibly common during and after a stomach bug because your gut temporarily loses the enzyme it needs to digest it. So for sure, skip the milk for now.
Next up, Section 5, Hydration Action Plans.
You see, it's not just about what you drink, it's about exactly when you drink it. Let's walk through this chronological recovery journey for an acute infectious bug. For the first 4 hours, you need aggressive replacement. Drink 8 ounces of a high-sodium electrolyte solution every 30 to 60 minutes. From hours 4 to 12, as things kind of start to settle, dial it back to 8 ounces every 1 to 2 hours. After 12 hours, transition to 8 ounces every 2 to 4 hours. Emphasizing this aggressive early replacement is huge. Clinical studies show this can actually reduce the total duration of your illness by up to 40%.
Now, what if your distress is triggered by something you ate, like a sudden lactose reaction? That's osmotic diarrhea. The alternative protocol for this is to drink 16 to 24 ounces of your electrolyte solution within 1 hour of being exposed to the trigger. Then, follow that up with 8 ounces every 2 hours. The whole strategy here is staying ahead of the fluid loss before your system gets completely flushed out.
Finally, Section 6, when to call a doctor. We are at our final critical safety check. While home care is incredibly effective for the vast majority of cases, please take these specific medical red flags very seriously. If you run a fever over 102 degrees Fahrenheit, if you see visible blood in your stool, if you're experiencing severe dehydration, like you're dizzy and literally can't keep any fluids down at all, or if your symptoms last over 3 days without any improvement, you need to call a doctor. We urgently want everyone to heed these warning signs. If you're ever on the fence about whether or not to call, check out this statistic. Patients who sought medical care within 24 hours of severe dehydration symptoms had 70% lower rates of complications. That is a powerful piece of clinical data. It completely validates your choice to seek professional medical help if things escalate. It is always better to play it safe and let medical professionals handle severe dehydration. Well, we've covered some incredibly valuable science-backed ground today, and I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Is your emergency electrolyte kit ready before the next stomach bug strikes? Seriously, don't wait until you're dizzy, dehydrated, and miserable to try and figure all this out. Proactively build your survival kit right now with those high-sodium, low-sugar electrolytes and stock up on those bland dietary staples. Arm yourself with the right tools today so that when the crisis hits, you're ready to heal your gut fast. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and stay healthy out there.